Hi, I'm Hazel. It is almost Saturday, so it's time for another vlog. It was patch week this week, so on Tuesday, which was the 19th, which was, as has been predicted, for a good amount of time, we had the patch 7.0 for World of Warcraft, so that included the Transmog wardrobe update, which is my favorite part, all the class changes, which were really funny to watch unfold, just because there's a lot of people on live that don't really bother with the beta, and they don't really bother checking up on videos, and they don't really bother with the PTR. So the class changes rolled out, and everybody's like, "Where's all my buttons?" And that was pretty funny. Yeah, so I opened about 3,000 salvage crates before I burned out on that. I still have at least another 6K of them. So I'm just going to take that as I feel like it. The Can I Mog It add-on is invaluable for that, as is there's a macro that clicks the OK button for you on the "Are you sure you want to bind this" screen, which was like killing my fingers. So I'm working through them, but yeah, it's been good. It took me like 5 minutes to accidentally delete some of my gear. So as I was like, I open some crates, and then I like get some gear, and then I have to bind it to learn it to my things. That's fine, so I bind it. And then I switch it back, and then I vendor it. And at some point, within the first, 5 minutes, I messed that up and ended up accidentally vendoring some of my raid gear. I vendored my staff and my boots, within 10 minutes of logging on to this patch. And I was, looking at my boots, and I was like, those are, item level 120. That's not right. Where are my actual boots? And I was like, oh, no. And then I realized I didn't have a staff equipped, and I'm like, oh, no. So luckily, item restoration is a thing, so you don't actually have to talk to a GM anymore to get that fixed, although it is on a 30-day cooldown. So now that I have restored my staff and my boots, I can't do it for another month, so I'm being extra super careful whenever I'm opening salvage crates. Now, the first thing I do if I'm going to open salvage crates in a character is I make an equipment set that has my gear. I make an equipment set that has no gear, that's called naked, and then I go and put all of my gear into a special bag in the very back of my bank, and I just stash it there, and then wear no gear for the whole process of equipping stuff and vendoring stuff, so that I don't accidentally sell anything. And that's been working good for me so far. I haven't deleted anything else, but yeah, public service announcement. Please be careful to try not to delete too much of your raid gear, because you only get one redo, and it didn't take me very long to use mine. So yeah, I opened some salvage crates. I don't know if I got anything really cool out of them, but it's nice to just have a lot of the green common gear from various expansions just kind of learned, so if I ever want to use any of those for a set, I can. I am having so much fun dressing up all my alts, though. Just having access to all of this random crap from, the salvage crates, and then from all of the quests that I've done over the years, because I've done Lore Master, the equivalent of about twice, because I had it, I was working on it across different characters before they made achievements account-wide. And I have just so much stuff to play dress up with, so I've been making cute outfits for all of my dudes. And the other thing that I'm really happy about with the Transmog system is the not only outfits, which is great, but spec-specific outfits. So I can mog my gear as Shadow and look like a Shadow Priest, and then change specs and set up a Holy Mog, and then without changing gear, when I change my spec, it changes my look, because that was one of the things that actually prevented me from switching roles a whole lot. Was I do not enjoy healing when I look like a Shadow Priest, and I don't enjoy doing damage when I look like a Holy Priest, so being able to have that Mog switch out for me, A+, perfect. So that's that. Class changes, like I said, they leave bars pretty empty. I've been going through my characters, and I'm like, wow, I don't have enough buttons to fill my bars, because my typical setup has at least, I've got 2 blocks of 12 buttons. One of them's on my gamepad, and one of them's on my mouse. And then I have 4 extra buttons that are also on the gamepad, that are just kind of off to the side on bars. So my standard setup is 26 keys. And then if I needed, in the past, if I needed more than that, on my Hunter, I often needed more than that for just macros and stuff, I would use shift modifiers. And I'm finding, on every single class, whereas before I had those all filled up and then I had a couple things not keybound, now I have, 9 to 12 different spots just open, and they look weird. I'm gonna, bind a bunch of extra battle pets so that I have, the keybound, where rotation keybinds used to be. Just I gotta summon a moth right now. Bam! And then I'll have it. So, patch 7.0 brings wonders for everybody. Yeah. I've been thinking about, so I've been playing my Shadow Priest, and they made some changes since the last time I played Shadow Priest on beta, and it feels really good. But I'm actually thinking about spending some time on my Warlock to see if I might maybe want to raid on that, just because it looks like my guild is going to have at least 3 Shadow Priests, and no Warlocks, and Warlocks are kind of useful for summons. Warlocks look like they're doing good damage. Warlocks have cool pets, and I mean, if you think about it, a Warlock is really just a Shadow Priest that, means it, So I'm going to play around my Warlock and see if I like it. I've been playing with Demo right now. The thing that I'm noticing so far about Demo is that I'm going to need some weakauras to really play the spec efficiently, because you got to track an uptime on a buff that is on your pet. Because you want to keep maximum uptime on that buff, and it's kind of annoying to look on your pet's buff bar, so a weakaura would be great for that. But I don't have one, and I googled a little bit, and I couldn't easily find one. I'm sure there's one out there, but what I really want is I want to be better at making my own weakauras, because whenever I do weakauras, I always have very, very specific visions for like what I want that weakaura to do and how I want it to look. And when you get prepackaged weakauras off like MMO Champion or something, they're not always exactly the way you want them. So I really want to spend some time learning how to make better weakauras. I'm really bad at it right now. There's a lot of things that I don't understand about it, but I'm sure if I spend some time with it, I'd be able to figure it out. So I want to get better at making weakauras, and I want to spend some time on my Warlock and see if maybe I want to raid on that instead, because locks are cool. And almost all of the Mog, except for tier sets, of course, but almost all of the Mog I've collected in my Priest could be used in my Warlock. So it's all good. Kitty, what did you find? Are you chasing ghosts? I don't know what you're playing with. Anyways, so there was an Overwatch patch too. They happened on the same day. I mean, I'm sure that there's reasons for that, and I don't think they're necessarily cannibalizing their own audience. It is not like there's a time limit for the amount of time to enjoy the patch content in either game, but I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much to do in WoW, and then all of a sudden they drop a new Overwatch hero on me on the same day, and it was just too much. So in Overwatch, they dropped the new patch, which has the D.Va changes, bunch of other balance changes, then Yada got fixed a little bit, and then the biggest thing that I noticed was the new hero. Obviously, there's a new hero out. She's a support sniper. I'm sure you know all about her, and I've been trying to play her. I really want to be, like, passably good on all the supports, and Ana's just such a cool hero that I want to put, like, some extra time into her, because she kind of reminds me of Restorator in WoW, just because the Sleep Dart is basically like a polymorph. It's basically like a WoW CC ability, because it breaks on damage, but it's, like, 12-second cooldown, which isn't that bad. And then, she's just really fun, so I played probably 15 games on her yesterday. Maybe not quite that many. It's hard to tell how many it was, but I played a good amount of games on her. And I am very slowly getting better. I still suck. I have terrible aim. My scoped and unscoped accuracy floats around 50%, which sounds really high, but I don't think it is, because the darts like take a really long time to fire, and they've got pretty big hitbox. So yeah, I'm working on it. I dropped 1,000 coins on a skin for her because I wanted a skin. I figured if I got a cool skin, then I would have to put in some time to get better on her, and I wouldn't just like go immediately back to Mercy's. So I got her commander skin. It's like it's the young captain one with like the blue coat. It's nice, and yeah, she's really fun. I'm so bad, but at the end of the night, I was better than I was at the beginning of the night. Even if both states were still awful, there's improvement, and that's all I need. So yeah, Ana's great. Super fun. I definitely recommend anybody that has Overwatch give her a try. And yeah, patch overload. That was just a crazy, crazy day. I know I didn't get as many videos out this last week, and that's why. I had just so much stuff going on between those two patches that I didn't spend as much time editing as I should have. What else? I've been still playing Pokemon Go. I'm still kind of addicted to Pokemon Go. I've scaled back my playing a little bit, but I still go out at least twice a day. I go out in the morning, and then we go for a longer activity trip in the afternoon. And it's been pretty fun. I am almost level 22. I think I'm like 5k XP away from level 22. And we've been getting lots and lots and lots of exercise, just hatching all the eggs, catching all the Pokemon. There's not that many Pokemon around here. There's a good amount of Pokestops. I'm not like starved for Pokestops, but for actual Pokemon to spawn, you either need to like find a lure party, or use an incense, or go somewhere else. Because you'll find a couple of Pokemon. Like on my walk in the morning, I'll probably find like 4 or 5 start to finish, but that's over the course of like 45 minutes. It's not a huge amount. So hopefully they do some adjustment in Pokemon Go to make Pokemon spawns a little bit more frequent universally, because I know, like, I'm in good shape. I know a lot of people in very rural areas have, like, no Pokemon, and they have no stops. They basically can't play unless they go to a city, so hopefully they make some balance changes to kind of make that better, but obviously they're going to focus on first finishing rolling it out to all the countries that don't have it yet, mainly Asia, and fixing the servers, although today and yesterday, servers have been good. Fingers crossed that keeps up. I'm sure as soon as they release it to Japan, everything's going to go to hell again, but it's been, hopefully the servers get a little better. Pokemon Go has gotten me kind of excited about Pokemon again. Sun and Moon doesn't come out until November, which is good because that doesn't like step on the Legion launch of August. Hopefully things have come down a little bit, so I actually have time to play Pokemon Sun and Moon, or whichever one I end up getting when that comes out in November. But I've been kind of just excited to play games again. I've been like tinkering a little bit with Pokemon X, and then I've just found out like yesterday or the day before that you can actually get Gen 1 Pokemon games, Yellow and Blue and Red, on your 3DS just off the eShop for like $12. You can just get them, and they're like as was. They're not redone. There's no modern conveniences, but they're like, you know, the original games. And I'm really tempted to do that because I haven't played those games in forever, but I'm not, I don't know. I feel like having an inventory max limit in a Pokemon game might kill me after so long of having played without it, so we'll see. But yeah, I didn't even know you could do that. Nintendo needs to advertise better. But in any case, I'm sure they're doing very well off sales of those games now that everybody's like riding the Pokemon nostalgia train while they're all out catching Pokemon in Pokemon Go. As far as beta stuff, I'm still working through pet stuff. There's like no end to pet battles. I'm more than halfway through having recorded the fights. There's about like whenever they come up, because they're only up for like the day and then you don't know when they're coming back again, I'm doing my best to get all of the footage recorded and like the strategies done, and then I finish the videos in like a part 2 that doesn't need the beta. So I've got over half of them recorded, but there's still like so many more to go. And yeah, as far as pets that I'm using on the beta, I'm getting really, really good mileage out of my race mini Zep, which is the Zeppelin that you get at the Dark Moon Fair. Not the Dark Moon Zeppelin, but the one you get for getting the big Rocketeer Gold achievement. The achievement's not super easy, but it's also not super hard. It took me probably like 3 or 4 tries after I'd watched a guide for it. So if you don't have that pet already, I would recommend trying to get one before Legion, just because his moveset comes in really handy. He's got a different moveset than the Zeppelin. He has access to Dark Moon Curse and also Overtune in addition to the Missile Decoy. And he also has a higher attack stat. So definitely recommend trying to pick one of those up. There's a video, if you go to the Wowhead page for that achievement, somebody's linked a YouTube video that's a really useful guide. Because basically you just have to complete the race in a certain amount of time. And it just shows you the points to hit that let you do that without it being too hard. So yeah, try and pick that up if you don't have one already. And yeah, so questions. Peter asks, will you do the Celestials? Because Howl Bomb is gone. So I am going to redo, basically the way I'm going to do this is, and this is going to be kind of after the Legion Pet videos because I want to get those done before the Legion beta goes down. But I've made this sticker. It's not a sticker, but it's like a digital sticker. I've made a image basically, and it's a Pouch 7.0 approved image. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a big list of all of my videos, and I'm going to go and test those strats on live. And if it works, then I'm going to change the thumbnail to have that sticker on it so you know it still works. If it doesn't work, I'm going to make a note of it and then put that one down to get redone. So all of the Celestial guides, all of the Pandaria Tamer guides, all of the Wad Tamer guides, all of the guides, I'm going to be slowly going through them and making sure anything that doesn't work anymore in patch 7.0 gets an update. This is a fairly big undertaking, so I don't know how long this is going to take me. If you haven't done the Celestial Tournament already, obviously you can try and work out new strats on your own, but there's going to be a lot of Legion pet stuff to do when Legion comes out, so I will hopefully have the Celestial stuff redone within a reasonable time frame. It's really hard to say, though. I don't know how long it's going to take me. I don't know how many of them don't work anymore, because I'm going to have to go through and do them all again. So, yeah, I will be doing that. Daniel asks, Hazel, will you do a lot of videos about raiding in PvE? I would like to see you doing an actual gameplay with a Resto Druid. So, I don't actually raid as a Resto Druid. Raid healing was completely ruined for me by PvP healing. Ever since I've started arena healing, I can't raid heal anymore. It puts me to sleep. It's so boring compared to PvP healing. So if I'm doing PvE stuff, it's going to be as a ranged DPS, either a Shadow Priest or Warlock or whatever I end up on. I'm definitely looking into raiding videos. It would be mostly stuff like UI videos, add-on videos, maybe some rotation stuff. Like I did those Shadow Priest rotation videos last expansion. So stuff like that. No, don't expect anything from Resto Druid for raiding though, just because I don't do that. And then as far as gameplay on a Resto Druid, PvP videos are definitely something I'm going to be looking into on the Resto Druid in Legion once I figure out how to play. I haven't done any skirmishes yet on live even. Like, I've just been so busy opening salvage crates and hunting for Transmog and like dressing up all my dudes. I haven't done a single skirmish yet, so hopefully I'll get around to that. Mr. Joseph says, which features would you like to see expanded upon in future patches such as new dungeons or more world quests? So one of them that they did a lot in Pandaria and then they just kind of ditched is scenarios. Like, not the ones that you encounter while leveling, but like an actual scenario that you queue up for, and then it takes 3 players, and then you do it, and you get like a short reward, and they usually took like 10, maybe 15 minutes. I liked those. Those were fun. They were short, they were cute. They were really good for storytelling, and I miss those, so I wish they'd bring those back. But I definitely see why they're kind of lower priority, because they weren't something I think a huge amount of the player base engaged in. I don't know. I don't have the numbers. But yeah, scenarios, and then I want me a pet battle ladder. I don't know what they would have to do to make pet battles balanced enough for there to be a functioning ladder, but hot damn, pet battle PvP would be so much more enticing to me if there was a ladder. That'd be pretty cool. So that has been my week. If any of you have any questions you would like answered on a vlog, just leave them as comments on the most recent vlog. Let me know what you think, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye!